14. One would think that since its task comes around year after year, it would by nature come as easily as sonnets came to Shakespeare. I am less like the bard and suppose more like Yeats to pretend that my so-called verse is wrought late at night by a candle's end. Unlike either great poet, there are no seeds of wisdom to be sown. My goal is to let each of you know you are noticed and known. Tomorrow you will all be feted, honored, and lauded, and after a minute, each will be politely applauded. This is as it should be, for this poem's intention may notice some of you in different dimensions. But enough of prologue, let's get to it. Here's the class of 2014 as I knew it. We should lead off with her, set the capable table, the forthright stable vision and smile of Emily Abel. And for 4 years, as I know you'll recall, there's been some confusion about the Alex's Ball. Both are wonderful, but Ball Alex J connects with the Beatles and yesterday, while Effervescent Ball Alex G is the one with soccer and Logi Death Valley. Though as for that, through Death Valley's deserted, dusty, dry miles, her group's burdens were shouldered by the smile and faith of Hannah Niles. How many countries will you travel through, Amanda Wu? At this rate, you're going to be easily 100 or 2. For holding deadlines at bay, our own Chris Farmer is this year's assignment date Snake Charmer. Though he got a run for his money from Lake and Moser, it was also the wrestling team's spiritual closer. Neatly presented now, but let's not forget back in the day when Gabe Elliott wore something tie-dye every day. At cross-country meets, that blur you saw at the head of the pack was Tanner Shaw. Speaking of blurs that are faster than that of a blow dart, describe balls smoked in the air off the bat of James Smart. Or the cannon-fast soccer shot to make the head swim, cracked off the foot of our own Alex Kim. Not to mention the lap time that turned into scorchers, we stand amazed in the wake of Nathaniel Nate Borchers. Here's to the earnest look and smile of Danny Dwan, leading us to believe that he can do no wrong. And then we look to soccer skilled Furlong Garrett, who might be in line for a late night demerit. For a while the rumors riffled like the pages of a thriller that the art bus would be auctioned off to Noah Schiller. And I'll listen to rock, blues, jazz, or concerto as sparks fly from the fingertips of Anthony Romero. And at this time, let's all give an appreciative chorus for the cryptic pithiness of the words of John Morris. Town meeting moderator with sotto voce elan comes to us this year with the modesty of Pearson Time. With the honest forthright that would have pleased James Madison, free speech was honored this year by a Thompson named Addison. Though as far as that go, our other Thompson, one named Helen, showed us that change through process beats open rebellion. Her courage, her wisdom, her gift of presence simply enthrall. We are all better people for having known Sarah Amaral. Eyes front. West Point's game, it's our loss of a fine man, athlete, scholar, gentleman, that is David Weinman. When she's famous on Broadway, we'll love dropping names for going to school and rubbing shoulders with Shauna James. The Hugo Nebula Science Fiction Awards I'm sure she will garner. The literary world will be rocked by the talents of Sarah Larner. He is grace and spirit in dancing, but was really off the rails is the chocolate sauce concocted by Chef Charles Bales. And in the world of robotics, what comes next in the future is hard to say. Know that what is improbable will become possible because of Andrew Kay. And working somewhere in that cyber collaborative idea nexus with him will be his equal in insight and innovative talents, Jin Hong Kim. Kelly Kingdon, you entranced us with your enigmatic cat in the hat. Show your talents to the world, they will love you, and that will be that. In case you were wondering, his absence here still leaves a pang of sorrow mixed with the hope of redemption for Alex Chang. In the same breath, let's talk of loyalty of friends to the end of his days, not to mention the 3-sport commitment of Mark Dominguez. Christian Canzius, your quiet brilliance will burnish the sheen of the academic spires at Hanover's Big Green. You have untapped talents galore, Quinn Nguyen. If the time to show us is not now, one might ask when. Deep science and art in a mix of brilliant anime mojo defines the limitless boundaries of our own Reiko Tojo. There's a hole in the wall of our orchestral sound as we lose the talents of brotherly downtown Will Brown. He is the founding member of the Get It Done gang you shine on in selfless spotlight, Victor Wei Chung Yang. Sweet smile and whippet volleyball arm rubber band. Here's to you and Argentinian tales, Kelsey Strand. Grace Records seems oxymoronic, and it is hard to conceive of the grace you'll be wrecking in our hearts when you leave. And if the Democratic Party is to rise to future glory, it's because the mastermind behind it all will be Noah Laurie. Hair Golden, problematic last name of Leslie Bold, will be a moral environmental tech director irascible. They are about to go worst to first to worst to test our reactions. I sense a true Red Sox fan in the intelligence of Daniel Atkins. Few of us know about the abrasions of scrambling on a boat's hard deck, a champ in all aspects, fair winds and following sea, Haley Kardec. Your poetry puts emotions and sounds in harmony. You are gifted way beyond me, Christina Harani. Ellis Wilson, I have known you as a campus kid since you were this tall. When you speak now about art's impact on society, my brain feels this small. There are people that have perception, talent, rhythm within them. You are one of those people, and thanks for sharing them with us, AJ Udon. When you scored in the last part of your last soccer game, Anthony Aguilar, I realized that you were a team player and person amazingly singular. I know the performing arts back booth will feel more than a pang as we lose the precise technical talents of Jenny Wang. Amanda Hamilton, Sultan of Volleyball SWAT, come back next year to tell us where you're at. The musical theater, the knitting, Dr. Who and your laughter will ring in my ears for years following this one, Julia Plafker. It's been a good ride, and you have had a new car, Acacia Blaze. Thanks for navigating the highway and the cultural maze. And for me, it is a grace of patience and silence of a Quaker that perhaps belies your public and private life, Michaela Baker. Knowing who she is and the drive she has, it won't take her long before she is in charge of the 7th Fleet. Here's to Admiral Page Furlong. And not too long ago, it was the imagination of a much shorter Oliver Wells that led to the Pro-Am Frisbee golf course gracing our hills. Soccer in silence, ground by his will like some smooth, athlodemic daiquiri. I predict only great things from the body and mind of Virgilio Zachary. Tough as nails in sports, but with a smile warm and merry, I speak, of course, of the multi-talented Krishna Perry. Her word and card games are those of a wit, not a gambler, matching and showing the perspicacity of a Sohota named Amber. On the flip side of this card dealing, I need to understand that if I played with Joe Sterla, he'd smile politely, and that may well be that. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'm not making nice. Theater, dance, and writing flow like a fountain from Jamila Price. On the court when he's on, he's a tennis machine drilling cyborg. When he's off the court, it is philosophy and Phillips that drive Samuel Berg. It may be a stretch, but in my day we used to pack the old Fillmore to hear the dulcet tones of singers like our own Chloe Gilmore. You took charge of the yearbook with production smooth as silk satin. You'll be missed by all of us, not just one of us, Anna Patton. Independent spirit, Gordonston dance academics form different pairs, changing configuration of these define our Patterson Terra. Full confession, last night pictures of young, smiling Jack Ramos showed the ad industry's neglect to make his innocence famous. You have a way of expression through your singing, Kristen Liu, that shows emotion and grace to all of us simply from you. Tennis, friendship, democracy, just my 2 cents. As Athenians, we thank you for being you, Maddie Durrance. Here's to the friendship and determination of Annika Yu. We all know you'll be an MD before you are through. Serious congratulations are due to you in English, Miguel Torrijos. Tenga paciencia con mi español, buena suerte para tú y vaya con Dios. Ariana Frankel, you have overcome all challenge that will hold you back. I look forward to you charging forward ahead of the pack. Horses and social conscience play such a big part of the soft-spoken graciousness of our own Sasha Hart. Another rider in residence, dressage, and servicer format defines the equestrian life. If you got it, Gabriela Glomack. We didn't see much of you this spring due to illness, Nihal Shah. Know that all along we admired you just as you are. Here's to softball this year, art that is simply extraordinaire, along with Madison Rudolph and her great mop of red hair. And a Quatch, we have loved you through and through, but not as much as you have loved hanging out with the kitchen crew. We will miss the team spirit and warm smile of Melise Knowles and wish her well as she pursues both life and soccer goals. Here's to intelligence, verve, and futures unfolding. Come back to tell us about them, Emily Golden. To rhyme with Ben Jahabadawi is just past what we might dare, and we'll tip our hat and farewell instead, and good luck to Catherine Barron. As the rhyme goddesses yearly grants me only one thing of her, she deemed this year's final gift would be Sophie Klinghoffer. So there you have it, senior class. All the names, the tugs, the pulls, my claims to your fames. But let's pause here on this bank and shoal of time, at the end of tale in this somewhat tattered rhyme. It's the last poem I will read to you this year, so I will one last time try to make myself quite clear. Some will tell you that your futures are bright. Some will speak to you of our country's might. Let me remind you of all the siren song and caution you that they may all be wrong. Trouble surrounds us. There is hatred swirled with desperation throughout the world. Know that our spectrum of ideas exchange somehow still includes doubt on climate change. Know that your freely granted freedom and rights are seen by many as hopeful pinpoints of light. So with that knowledge, we are looking to you to solve the problems, change the worldview. Why us, you might say? That's so unfair. In the end, it is all of you who are left to care. So take up the torch. Remember that love is the answer that keeps you winking at stars above. Remember truth's beauty and the joy of laughter are the ideals of wisdom we trail forever after. That's it. This candle and verse is burned down to the quick. Best of luck to you all. With love always, from your Uncle Dick.